All right, looks like we are live. Well, welcome everybody to Mappy Hour. This is our happy hour for those of us who love maps, also known as geocachers. So cheers, everybody. We have made it to another Thursday. I see y'all got the memo. When I realized that we were going to be having our normal Mappy Hour falling on Friday, the 4th of July here in the US, that just didn't seem like yeah, I'd rather be out enjoying some fireworks, although I love hanging out with all you guys. So I just moved it up a week or a day earlier to today. So again, welcome everybody. I am Lisa. Look at Lisa, one of your hosts tonight, and this is
I'm JD Kid Vegas 19.
yeah our other host tonight.
We're from Spokane, Washington.
We are yeah broadcasting from our home studio here, and it's like land of the midnight sun. We've got great sunlight coming in here, and it will be for a few more hours easily. So, gosh, seeing a lot of folks chiming in here. We've got people joining us from Yorktown, Virginia, Salt Lake City, awesome. Also Spokane, Pittsburgh, Michigan, folks from all around. And I see somebody from even down under. So awesome. Yeah, it's actually the 4th for you. So cool. Hey, Dirk. Awesome. Well, again, our topic tonight for Mappy Hour is all about treasures. We talked about them before they even started. And we thought it would be a good time to do a check-in, see how you're doing, if you like them, if you're paying attention, what's coming up, that sort of thing. But before we get there, we do have our notes from the field. So we'd love to know what sort of geocaching adventures y'all have been up to in the last couple of weeks. And we give everybody 2 minutes to do that. And then we can move on to our topic. But before that, before we get there, I do have some ground rules just to keep us moving along here. So please keep everything family friendly. There might be kids in the rooms with us. We are live streaming to YouTube, and then this does go into our Mappy Hour hub as well. And if you'd like to join in the conversation, raise your hand. If you're here in the Zoom room, just raise your hand in the room. And if you're watching us on YouTube, hey, YouTube folks, JD is watching the um, the comments there. So if you'd like to join in the conversation, just go ahead and type in a comment and then JD will bring it in at the appropriate time. But if something comes out of order, if you got an answer to somebody's question or an add-on or something, just wave at the screen and we're happy to call you out of order as well if it's appropriate timing. Um, those are the basics as usual. I wanted to add one more official rule. It's kind of an unofficial rule, but it's no sports spoilers for sports fans. And we know that sometimes our games have already started, like the Seattle Storm. And oh goodness, that check came early. And so obviously no we can cheer for our sports, but please no spoilers while we're going while we are live here in the room. And we do pet check and love to know what sort of pets y'all have around you. Perhaps looks like ours came down early. Normally he waits a good 45 minutes, but I guess he just couldn't wait. All right, I think we are ready to move on with our notes from the field. I know you and I have been busy geocaching, but I want to hear about everybody else, what y'all have been up to. So I think Melissa is first. So go ahead, kick us off, Melissa.
So last Thursday, I had my community celebration event,
Yeah.
and it was a s'mores birthday party in the park, and it was my 60th birthday.
Wow.
So, and Bob drove in all the way from Ada,
Wow.
and Nancy drove in from near Cleveland, where her grandson is, and besides 19 other geocachers from the neighborhood.
Wow.
So yes, it stormed. I know Bob and Nancy both encountered rains getting there, but it was we had a pavilion, and
Ah.
we were able to do the fire in the pavilion because there was a fireplace. And somebody brought fruit, so we had s'mores and fruit, and some people were like, I haven't had s'mores in forever. But I was just, I didn't plan anything more than the s'mores, and it was great. We were there for like 2.5 hours.
That's awesome. Well,
So,
congratulations and happy birthday.
well, thank you.
Yeah.
So, and happy 25 years of geocaching too.
Amazing. No kidding. Well, cool. Thanks, Bob and Nancy, for joining in. If we were closer, we would have come to for sure.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome. I think we have Scott next.
So yeah, hit some caches, found some caches, went up to Cache in the Bay, had a great time. But really, one of the things that I've been spending most of my time this last week is letting people know that Earth Cache Purge 2025 is in progress. And if you don't know what that is and the opportunities that it's going to give us, uh, give me 2 minutes and maybe 2 minutes and 30 seconds.
Sure, go for it.
So in 2024, geocaching.com sent notices to anybody who owned owned an Earth cache who had not logged in for 5 years, sent them a notice and said, you need to log in, otherwise we're going to archive your Earth cache. And they did that. Um, and then this year, they have done it again. June 9th, I believe, is the day that they sent out those notices. They basically told the Earth Cache owners, you have 30 days to put an owner's maintenance on this. If you don't, at the end of 30 days, we are going to disable it. And at the end of 30 days, we are going to archive it. So, sounds terrible. Actually, it's great because it's going to provide us an opportunity to do two things. First off, they're doing it because as an Earth Cache owner, you have to monitor and answer and be in charge of your questions. And if you're not logged in for 5 years, obviously you're not doing that. So what it's going to do is provide us an opportunity to refresh the game board with Earth caches that are going to be archived. For people who have maybe wanted to do an Earth cache, but haven't felt that they could or haven't found a place that they could, they're going to have the opportunity to look for these that are in their area that maybe was of interest to them. And when they get archived, they can not reproduce them. That's not the right word. They can change them. You can't just go in there, copy paste, ask the same questions and make it yours. That's not going to fly with the geo-awares. But you're going to be able to go there. You have to have been there within 2 months, and then just rewire the Earth cache. You can use the same subject. You can teach the same lesson. You just can't duplicate it. So, so again, we're going to have a good opportunity to refresh the game board with new Earth caches, and those who have been wanting to place one, they're going to have some good examples of where to place them and how to do it. So I'm encouraging you to, look around at Earth caches that you found, open them up. If there's a notice there that, hey, we're in 30 days, we're going to, you'll know that one is up for, there's a possibility that that's going to be archived. And, uh, and let's see, there was something else that I was going to talk about, but that's, oh, and I guess two things. One, permissions. Those have changed over the years. Used to be that you had to have the land manager's permission to, to before you could set an earth cache. What they've changed it to is if it's an area that geocachers can go to, you don't need the specific land manager's permission. And I did check this and verify this with a GeoAware, and he said, yes, generally that is correct. He then pointed me to every state has a wiki for that state and he pointed me to the wiki for California where there are different, there are some jurisdictions that require special, but generally you don't need permission. And I would say even if you were seeking permission, you could make a pretty good case that, hey, this has been an earth cache. It's not created a problem. I'm just trying to utilize the same subject matter, and and that I think is about it. So yeah, thank you for passing it on to this group.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really good information to know. I was unaware of that. Sorry, I've got a helo in my lap who likes to talk over me. That's one cache type I've never hidden is an earth cache.
Right.
So perhaps it's time.
Mhm.
And check. I know here in California, Nevada, and Arizona, and Utah. Terry Dad too is a very prolific. He was a geologist, very much a geocacher, and set out hundreds of earth caches around the Western United States.
Hmm.
He has not logged in for 5 years, and as far as I can tell, all of his earth caches are subject to being archived. In
Um,
2024, last time I was able to refresh three of his earth caches and keep them going. And I'm going to encourage other people to do it too.
okay.
Because if I do them all, I'm in the same situation I've been for the last couple of years where I can't get an earth cache on Earth Cache Day because I own all the earth caches that are around here or have found them. Anyways, there we go. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you. Good to know.
Yeah, it's interesting to know about the rule change because I instantly thought of the one we did in Walla Walla where we accessed it. We could see everything we needed to answer the questions from public roads. You
Mhm.
know?
Right.
And yeah. So perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, there's no reason to contact the county or whoever and get that express permission, which definitely is a roadblock for a lot of people.
It
Yeah.
it definitely is, and basically, if it's a public trail that geocachers can and the public can walk, and you can do your earth cache from that trail, generally, um, generally you don't need permission. If you do need permission, the reviewer will tell you,
Okay.
or the
Okay.
geo aware will tell you.
Great. Cool. Thank you.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Promo code SIMPLE to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out
Uh-oh.
right to your bank. Gift card for
Gotta mute somebody. Who is it? Oh,
I have and use code SIMPLE for 25.
There
okay. Sorry about that. Great. We have been doing some caching, actually. We got to a wonderful community celebration hosted by Mountain Bike. Many of you are aware of Mountain Bike. He hosted it in Coolin, Idaho, which is the city just down the mountain from his Camel's Prairie stash, which was the very first cache, wasn't it, in Idaho?
in Idaho, yeah.
Yeah, that was the oldest one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And yeah, it was a great event. He put a lot of work into it, obviously, and there were a lot of people there in a small space. We kind of spilled out into the outside, and luckily there was another room next to it that we could use as well. And unfortunately, it was a rainy, wet, cold day, and the plan was after his event was to caravan up to Camel's Prairie Stash, which a lot of people did.
Mhm.
But it was so rainy that and cloudy, you missed out on the views. We'd already been there, we'd already done that one, so we opted not to do the drive up and did some other caching instead.
Mhm. And we had still labs.
Mhm.
I don't know, he must be special or something because he had a 10 stopper, not the regular 5 stop,
Mere mortals.
mere mortals get.
Yeah.
And it was well done. It was grab them all in one spot, but it was all about 25 years of geocaching in Idaho. And even though, it was multiple choice, it was a fun way to learn stuff. And it was pretty cool. I liked it. Generally, I'm against, I find those in an airport, perhaps. Not so thrilling, but this one was well done. And we grabbed a few caches here and there. We grabbed some pottery.
We did.
Yeah.
Our favorite pottery place is in Spirit Lake, a little city on the way up to Coolin. And we were able to add to our collection. He had some really nice pieces that matched our collection. Dishware and that sort of thing, pottery. Yeah.
Okay, so.
And then we also finished a lab that we missed a stop on many moons ago, actually. And it was a perfect afternoon walk to walk out and do that one and find a cache. And we had a couple other random ones around the area, and we attended a few more events. Our event season seems to be kicking into gear here up in Spokane area. So it's been fun to see folks come together. And another community event as well was Derek's, which was right after our last Mappy Hour.
Exactly. So we got to go to it from Mappy Hour.
Yeah.
And which was pretty cool. Still a lot of people there.
Oh, yeah. Even though we were towards the very bitter end, but there were a lot of folks there. He had a great turnout. And
that's what year or so ago when I had my community event, I was, I'll be there for 2.5 hours. I mean, by myself for like probably an hour and a half of that, because everybody will be gone, right? And no, wasn't the case. It like Melissa's, it ran long. Derek's ran long.
I'm sure John's did too.
And John was on a schedule, so as soon as it ended, then he was busy lining up rides to go up the hill. But yeah, it's so weird. Oh, how am I gonna fill that time? Well, actually, if another geocacher shows up, you're yakking for 2.5 hours. What's happening?
Easily. Yeah, it's like Microsoft time, it seems variable, but with geocaching, it always, next thing you know, it's hours have gone by, and it's time to move on to the next cache. Yeah.
So we got some people in on YouTube. Houston, Texas Dave is saying happy Mappy 4th of July, everyone.
Yeah.
And Great 2 Forever. This is cool. We hit our 1-year anniversary of caching and just hit over 900 finds last weekend.
Wow. That's awesome for your first year. Good job.
I don't believe I've done 900 in a year yet.
Yeah. I have, but that would include many power trails.
Yeah.
Yeah. But getting to my first 500 took many years. So yeah, that's impressive. Cool. I know we've got another hand has come up. So Dick, good to see you.
Yeah, hi. Happy 4th of July, everybody. I wanted to add something to what Scott said about the Earth Cache Purge. There was an email I received. I don't remember how I got it, but it's got a link I'm putting in chat. It's a YouTube, fairly short YouTube video from, I don't even remember who it was, but he gave a little bit more expanded explanation of what's happening and what the impacts is to kind of supplement what Scott put out. The major impacts, the neat thing about what you'll get if you look at this short YouTube video, is that the impact is mostly in California because of the individual that Scott talked about. He lists the individual that's doing the video lists other states. The impact is like 1, 2, or maybe 3 Earth caches in individual states, except California has got a bunch. So if you want to learn more about it and a little bit more leisurely than the 2.5-minute quickie that Scott gave, take a look at the link I'm just putting out right now in chat.
Okay.
Awesome. Thanks. We'll have to take a look at that after after we're done here. So thank you.
And so uh Dick posted one of the better logs on one of my hides. They were here over the weekend, and so, oh yeah, because we'd seen pictures, and well, that sort of looks like here. And
A minute.
and the plan was him and Peach were gonna spend their time downtown getting caches and verts there until we realized it was Hoop Fest, the largest 3-on-3 outdoor basketball tournament in the country. And so, as Dick put it, they went to Plan B. So yeah, that was a great log. I loved it.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah.
No, I'm glad you did. We just didn't. We ended up spending 2 or 3 days over there, and I had a good time. But we'll be back. And yeah, my son and his buddies for 10 years when they were in high school and early college, every year went over to Hoop Fest
Yeah.
and did 3-on-3. That's been going on forever. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's a big event over there. But we had a good time in Spokane. Sorry we didn't get a chance to stop in and see you guys.
Oh.
Yeah, well, next time, let us know. Hopefully we can
Yeah.
connect. We'd love to. Yeah.
I think we were far away from Hoop Fest too, so
Yeah, we definitely planned that.
Yeah.
It's like Bloomsday. Yeah, so Hoop Fest is the biggest 3-on-3 basketball tournament in the world, I believe.
That could be.
Yeah,
At least the
they're-
country for sure.
Yeah, they have hundreds and hundreds of courts set up. They close all the streets downtown and it flows, it's expanded quite a bit. And it's just huge. They had over 500 injuries on the first day alone, they said. So maybe one of these years we should actually volunteer and help out with. That'd be a fun way to be involved in a certain way.
Mhm.
Yeah. Instead of just showing up, wandering the crowds.
Well, so for years and years, it was a self-cleaning solution for us to be way far away from Hoop Fest because it was always the same weekend as the Tri-Cities
Yes,
Geocoin Challenge.
always.
And
Yeah.
so we'd be over there in those crowds, but but yeah, so yeah, fun times.
So yeah, this was our first year not doing that. Our second year. Second year.
Mhm.
Jeez. Time flies.
Mhm.
Geocaching time. It flies. Oh, I don't know. I don't know, Scott. I'm no good at basketball. Used to play.
I've played in it 3 times, and it was 3 years in a row. And you pick your age and your size group, and so you get
Okay.
bundled together playing the same people.
Hmm.
And the first year, we were horrible. You're guaranteed 3 games, and we got our 3 games. And if you lose all 3 games, you get the basketball your court played for the weekend. And so we were all looking forward to getting this basketball, and then we won our last game.
Oh.
And then, so then the next year, same group of guys, they moved us. The better the teams are, the closer to the center of downtown is where the main court is. And we're closer to the main court. And we just get crushed. And well, that was just an oddity. Played the third year, and now we can see the main court. We're that close. And the court monitors just loved when our team came up to play because we were beat so quickly it got them back on schedule. And so our team decided to retire.
Oh yeah, basketball. I love watching it, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Well, Marty's hand popped up for a second there. Did you have something to join in with, Marty?
No, that was just a mistake. I was punching something else.
Oh,
doing chat.
okay. Easy enough to happen.
Yeah.
For sure. Cool. All right. Well, I guess we can move along to our topic.
Yeah.
And then at the end, I've got a couple of updates and announcements to make as well. But I'll save it for the very end. Keep you guys wondering. So treasures. Are y'all tracking treasures? Hands up. Are you working towards them, or are they just happening organically? I'm not seeing any hands. For me, It's more organic. Okay, here's a hand. I was looking here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, right. Nancy's hand went up there too. I know she's driving though, so yeah. Keep eyes on the wheel or ahead there. Hands on the wheel, eyes ahead. Yeah.
Don't listen to Lisa, just drive.
Just drive, obviously. So I know Scott's hand went up and then we can go to you.
Yeah.
And anybody else would like to chime in. So go ahead, Scott.
Well, Nancy, why don't we, or Lisa, why don't we break this up and why don't you go first? Share your thoughts.
Oh,
Because you were till I stuck my hand up.
oh, okay. Well, really, again, for me, it's just they're coming to me organically. I'm not working towards them. If I'm using the geocaching app, you get a little pop-up, or if you're on the website, you get a little pop-up because I was logging a few events and such that I never didn't get to this last couple of weeks. And I would get that pop-up like, oh, yeah, okay. And then so I pulled up the app to go take a look and don't know if you guys can see that. That's a good way for us to track them
Mhm.
where we are. And then I guess you can filter for them, but honestly, I haven't even tried doing that. So for me, it's just kind of happening. And I was surprised to see that I had all of these collections finished already. And I didn't even realize it. So I know we've been busy.
Yeah,
Woodstock
Woodstock.
fired up a lot for
Yeah.
us. So while we were there, but yeah, that's just kind of me. I like that there's a game within the game. Although I also like just going out for a walk or a hike and finding a geocache. But when it's just going out for a hike or a walk and finding a geocache, that can you can kind of hit a wall. That's what I'm looking for. Or you just get
Oh,
burnout basically. And so having some sort of goal, such as a challenge cache, or working towards these promotions that geocaching.com has, or the Geo Challenge of the Month, which we'll talk about at the end, that's an added game within the game. It's a gamification that just adds a little more excitement to it. Although sometimes I think Groundspeak gets a little too complicated. Like I think it was the Mary Hyde one they did many years ago.
that one was.
Even figure that one out. We were asking a lackey, for them to explain it, and they couldn't even explain it how it worked. So we're like, okay, well, we'll just go caching and we'll, not pay attention. But some of the other ones have been a lot of fun to work towards. Some of the different goals. So those are my basic thoughts on them. I am an equal opportunity cacher. I enjoy all types of caching. So for me, if they're happening, great. But this current one, I'm not going out and working towards personally. Scott, so what are your thoughts?
My thoughts are anything that geocaching.com does to encourage me to go out and geocache, I appreciate. And for this one, yeah, for many of the people in this room, they really don't have to work at it to get it, especially if there's not a deadline, they'll just eventually get it. But but I do find it that I am planning, I go out once a week and go geocaching, and I am finding that I am focusing more on these. I love the fact that they have the filter that you can map, that you click on it and then you say map this, and it will show you what's available. Going up to Cashin in the Bay, um, I pretty much got all the regulars and all the larges around here. And so as we were going up and doing our geocaching on the way to Cashin in the Bay, I did pick up those that would qualify for it. Now, interestingly enough, I see that even despite the fact that I got about 96 geocaches last month, I did not complete it. So I still have one to go. And here in Carpinteria with 19 favorite points, there's a multi, and maybe that's going to be sometime this week. So, so I do let it influence me. It's not a major influence, but but I do enjoy them, and I've enjoyed the treasures that we're going after, and it does motivate me a
Mhm.
little bit. It gives me direction on where I'm going to go. So,
Mhm.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Especially with summer rolling around, a lot of us have a little more time as well for geocaching. So, and better weather for a lot of us.
Yeah.
Except for Derek, I imagine it might be getting a little worse now, but that's another challenge there. So,
but
yeah.
it will be interesting to see where it goes because,
Mhm.
if you listen to the podcast when when Brian was explaining what was coming up, they can make them fairly easy and they can make them more challenging. And, I think after seeing how the community reacts, they'll move accordingly. But yeah, but as we've seen from these first 4 months, I guess it is, they do have things that they can direct us for and try and encourage us. And it's kind of like the souvenirs also, they get to play the game. They get to direct the community a little bit. The next one, we're going to be able to get a souvenir for hiding a cache uh, in about a month period. And I think that's great because now people will hide more. Hopefully, people will hide more caches and make more caches available, and keep that game board fresh because parts of that game board are getting pretty stale.
Yeah, I would agree. I was just looking at my cache map, and it's a lot of yellow smiley faces around our area. I was trying to explain geocaching to a couple different people, and I would throw up the map and show them, and they were confused why it was all this big yellow blob. I'm like, well, those are caches that I've already found. So,
Right.
but you can go find them. Um, yeah, so yeah, I think that's true. That'd be great to have more caches.
Yeah, and I think it's great when GCHQ does anything to reward, or encourage and reward us who hide caches.
Mhm.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, because
That's kind of rare that they do that.
yeah, and they don't do it very often. I think this is the fourth time in the 20 years I've been involved where I'm actually getting encouraged to hide a cache or rewarded to hide a cache.
Mhm.
Yeah, that would be, yeah, I can't even count the times. So, yeah.
Yep.
Cool.
And then,
What are your thoughts?
well, probably, I like to say on these types of things, if they happen, they happen. Happens organically. Like Great Two Forever on YouTube. If I find one, great. But I don't seek them out. And so that's how I am until I check out my treasures and you know what? I need this last one. And it's cool, the map, Scott, you were talking about. I love how they call it, build your treasure map. Man. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so yeah, it's all organically. As long as we go in this direction towards that one cache, then yeah, we might pick it up and oh, I've accidentally filled in my treasures.
So that explains some of our side trips we've taken.
So, but and then I was checking on them the other night and I started freaking out because I missed one of the from the very first set.
Hmm.
The very first set. There's
Mhm.
only where's the fifth one? And I had to dig a little bit. Well, there is no fifth one. There's only four.
Oh,
So, woohoo,
so it was
crisis
confusing.
averted. Yes.
Oh, confusing. Okay.
Yeah.
But so yeah, that just bringing me into that kind of interaction with geocaching is great.
Hmm. Hmm.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's fun. Yeah, and
And Lisa, if you could let me share a screen, maybe we could fill some people in on
Sure.
visually on what we're chatting about in case people don't know what we're doing, what we're chatting about.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so this is so I got here by going to my profile and then clicking on treasures, and here's the treasures that I've had, and you can see I've accomplished all of them except this last one, planets. And so I still need planets. What are the planets? I have to find a large or a regular that has a difficulty level of 2. And amazingly, that's pretty tough. Because I found most of the larges in the difficulty and the regulars, but a difficulty of 2 on a regular, that's a little bit different. So here, if I generate my treasure map, I can see the ones that qualify. And here I am over in Ojai. Search this area. There we go. And I can still see that, yeah, there's still not very many of them around here. Most of these are long hikes, or they're hikes, I should say. I'm not sure they're long hikes.
Wow.
But
Yeah.
yeah, and then here's my one here in Carpinteria, little long overdue. Oh, it's a library cache. That's why I went to get it the other day, and the library was closed because it was Memorial Day. So that'll be on my list. But
Okay.
they have interesting tools. I think it's an interesting challenge for us, and I know that they have the next one announced. I don't know that they've announced what the criteria are going to be. Maybe somebody could fill me in if they have, but it's I think they've done a good job,
Yeah.
and are attracting those people who are, a lot of geocachers are goal oriented, and this is another small
Well,
goal
that
that they can do.
that might be that's good, Scott, because Jim J. Carr is asking, is anyone not caching because of them? Because, he says, I wrapped up one set and decided I better not go out the next weekend and save nearby caches around me in case I need them for the next treasure.
Yeah. And we've done that many times.
Yeah,
We've saved local caches, in case a streak comes up that we need to do to get a souvenir or something.
like every day in August.
Yeah. Yeah. That burned me out. But yeah, I mean, we definitely save inventory, and that's advice that we often give to newbies. You wouldn't even think of that when you're brand new caching. You want to go out and find all the ones in your neighborhood. No, you really don't.
Yeah.
Um, just for these reasons. But why should this stop us from geocaching? The challenge. Yeah.
Yeah.
It can influence us. And I mean, when we first got in, clearing out your 5 mile radius was a personal goal. And now
Yeah.
it's not. It's like,
Yeah.
it's like save those little local ones here for something that might come up. Okay, it looks like Dick has his hand up, so I'll stop talking.
Oh,
He does.
he does.
Yeah. So Dick, what do you have to add?
Well, I was going to say, I think we don't uh, pay much attention to the promotions, um, and I think there's 2 points, I guess. One is if you're a very, very active cacher, which we are, Peach and I are, we get them in the normal course of business. We usually wrap them up within a week. And we haven't done that with this one because, as you guys have pointed out, the last one that's currently active needs to be a large or a regular. And the difficulty, too. I don't think the difficulty is an issue, but finding there aren't that many around anymore that are large and regular. It seems like most of them are smaller. So that becomes a factor. Secondly, we don't, because we cache a lot, we get them by in the normal course of events. The fact that they don't have deadlines on most of these means that there's no rush, that we're going to get them, and we're going to get them fairly quickly in the normal course of business. I think where it really becomes an issue, as J. Carr pointed out, where you might want to be saving something, is a function of 2 things. One is how active you are. In other words, how much caching you actually do each week, and where you're living. if you're living in, like, for example, there was someone who used to be here all the time. It's not here very much anymore. I can't remember what his name was now, darn it. Senility is a terrible thing. Um, the yeah, the guy from Gilby, North Dakota, the kid from Gilby.
Yeah.
yeah.
Gilby's
Luke.
got its own
Luke.
going on. But if you're somewhere in North Dakota where you don't have a high density of caches, like we do in the Puget Sound area, or over in Spokane, or where Scott is, close to LA, there's high density, number one, and number two, you're getting a lot put out all the time, which makes it a lot easier to accomplish these things. If you're somewhere where it's thinly populated with caches, that becomes more of an issue. Then you may be really thinking hard about, saving some for future reference.
Mhm. Yeah, exactly. Good
Mhm.
point. That's a real good point about, and this has come up, in other challenges or other uh promotions where it is just, hey, I live in an area that doesn't have the inventory to do this.
Yeah.
And yeah. And so how can uh DCHQ incorporate that into the promotion
Mhm.
is, oh man, that's gotta be tough. It's gotta be
Mhm.
real tough.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, like if you lived where my brother lives.
Yeah,
Yeah, in the
exactly.
middle of Montana, there's just not much there. Yeah, he would be hard pressed, especially if he'd been caching. He has been caching for a
Mhm.
while, just not as much lately. But yeah, it does make it even more difficult. Chris, do you have some more to add to this?
Hey, yeah, I was just going to kick in. I was lucky enough to have a business trip to Alaska, and I got to have a few extra days up there for some playing. And in Alaska and all those wide open spaces, man, there's a lot of D2 regulars. So I was really excited. I still haven't even finished logging all the trip, but my planet started racking up because, like many others, most of the other treasures have come to me just in the normal course of caching. I haven't really targeted them, but this one's a little bit tougher, and that I like that. That's a good thing. And I'm glad that I got the trip to Alaska. I think I'll be done when I finish logging. Of course, as Brian mentioned in that interview, there is a possibility that you can find a D2 regular, appropriate kind of cache, and it doesn't have a treasure in it. I think they have it set right now that it's a really low possibility because they want to encourage people to do it. But I did hit one of the earlier ones that met the criteria, but I didn't get a treasure out of it. So,
Mm,
Well,
kind of like those gems.
that's why you need the treasure map.
Yeah.
Okay, got
Yeah,
it.
yeah, not just anyone counts.
Yeah.
well, I don't know. The treasure map, I think it just tells you the ones where it's possible. I don't think it guarantees that it's going to be
Ah,
there.
Oh,
If I
oh,
understand correctly, I might be wrong on that.
well, that would fulfill the criteria of being a treasure map. It might or might not be there.
it's true. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I honestly don't know if it guarantees or not. Sounds like it
Yeah, it's
might
like the
not.
gems.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
gem ones, that promotion, you weren't guaranteed.
Yeah,
Huh.
yeah.
Yeah. Overall, I'm pretty excited about the treasures. I think it's one of the more brilliant things that they've done in a while, especially with the current treasure collections, because they're going to be lasting long term. And newer cachers, when they start caching, it'll be available for them, and they have goals to start working on before they figure out challenge caches
Well,
and
that's a nice
develop
point.
those
Yeah.
goals. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm pretty excited about it. I think they did a good job with it.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, because until just this evening, I didn't realize that there really was no deadline. Because previously these were, this month,
Yeah,
or
they had a
they
shelf
had
life, yeah.
a shelf life of starting on a like Tuesday and running through a following end of the month Tuesday or something like that. So yeah, that makes a lot of sense, Chris, that
Yeah.
it gives newer cachers goals down the road
Exactly.
to
Yeah.
get started with.
Well, again, referencing the interview with Brian, he said that there are going to be some that have deadlines, that they're just
Mhm.
typical promotion type things. But again, differing from promotions, treasures don't necessarily lead to souvenirs. Treasures and souvenirs are different. So there will be those time crunch ones. I just don't think they've gotten there. I think they're trying to make it easy to start out with to get everybody involved.
Okay. Yeah,
Okay.
makes a lot of sense.
So Kathy is asking, what are challenge caches? Does anybody here know what a challenge cache is? You can help Kathy. Melissa knows.
Yeah. Melissa, would you like to share?
Okay. So a challenge cache is where somebody creates criteria and creates a cache that you go physically sign. It's not HQ. But in the challenge, I mean, they can pick anything pretty much. I mean, there are some guidelines from HQ, but like it might be find 100 caches in this county would be a challenge. And if you've found 100 caches in that specific county, then you qualify and you can go sign and log it. It might be find 10 puzzle caches. I did one recently. I had to have like 5 different attributes in 5 different states. So, I mean, it runs the whole gamut. There are so many out there that are so impossibly hard. It's only those people who have like 20,000 caches like Scott that can go get those ones.
Yeah.
So, but well, and I know some of them are like every county, find every county in a state, have cached 100 days in a row. You know, those are all examples of challenge caches, which have the little question mark on them, which falls under puzzles and other things too.
Right. Yeah, they don't have a separate icon yet. I wish they would. But there definitely is criteria. It has changed. Back in the day, you would just put out a puzzle cache, and there really was, other than just a review, no guidelines around it. But they put a halt on those and had a moratorium on challenge caches for a while. HQ did. And now the newer ones have to have a checker. And so if you're putting one out, you have to, it's some background work that you have to do onto your cache, your challenge cache, to set up the checker. So it's much easier now. You just run the checker, log in, and see if you actually qualify. And if you do, then you can go and sign the log. Most owners, cache owners, allow you to sign the log if you haven't qualified. If you happen to be going through the area, and then when you do qualify, you can then log it as found. So I get a lot on my my Jasmer challenge. It's right off the freeway. It's pretty easy to get to here in the North Idaho, Jasmer. And I get a lot of notes that people say, hey, I'm almost qualified. I've got 3 more months, and I'll log it as found when I do qualify. And they do. You know, down the road, they'll qualify. Melissa, do you have more?
And I think isn't one of the criteria, if you're making a challenge, you have to qualify for the challenge to make it.
Yes, that is a new one.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It used to be that way. Yeah.
So yeah,
Let me jump in quickly. This is I did a challenge cache with earth caches, so that you had to do I divided Louisiana into 5 different sections. You had to do 3 earth caches in each section, and then a couple of extra ones. And then put in the very center of the state, I placed a cache for that. I was where they had to go after they finished everything. That was a while back.
Okay.
okay, yeah. Okay, excellent challenge.
Yeah. Yeah. Good
Wow.
deal. Well, I think that answers the questions around challenge caches. So
And
they're
then,
an excellent way, like we've been talking about with these treasures, just to add one more level of caching interest for, you know, setting goals. It's sometimes for us, it's a way we actually organize a trip around different caches that may help us qualify for a challenge cache that we have in mind.
yeah, so Great to Forever is not a fan of challenge caches directly, not my favorite.
Yeah.
And then says, I agree, Lisa.
Okay, cool.
And then if we have time at the end, I want to run a challenge cache idea
Yeah.
by the gang here to see if it's really worth doing.
Cool. Um,
We have-
Jay and Libby asked, where did you find the treasure map? So that would be, Scott, you were showing us that was through the your profile on the web page. Are they available through the map, through the app as well?
Yeah, they are available through the app. And unfortunately, I can't share that. I'm gonna share my screen just one last time and just take her through the steps. So let's see where I'm going. I shouldn't have done that. Okay, so you go up here to come on.
Well, if you didn't have so many fines, it would be a lot
Yeah, I
faster.
know.
Just, yeah.
So you just go up here to up there, you go over here to treasures. It takes you to your treasures. Here's my current treasure, and I click on it, I can find the criteria and then generate the treasure map. And then it would be interesting to run the criteria and compare this map with just running the criteria
The criteria,
to see if they are showing. But and hiking seals can correct me. I believe that it was possible that if you and I both got the same cache, one of us might get a treasure and the other one might not.
Oh,
That was my understanding as well, Scott.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
So
wonder
anyways,
if GCHQ could get super creative and like, okay, you've generated your treasure map, but then you see it's torn like a piece of paper halfway down this. You have to go find the other person in the world that has the other half.
kind of like it going cash or yeah, going cash.
Yeah.
Match.
and then if I could add another thing just to treasures and because but the discussion on challenges has been really interesting too. But somebody, and I don't remember who it was, and I can't take credit for it, was saying that the treasures is kind of like having a handicap system in golf. Those people who have been in a long time are going to have a more of a challenge to get those treasures, and those people just coming in, as long as they know and are directed towards how to do the treasures, are going to have it a little bit easier.
Because they have so many more opportunities. Oh, that's brilliant. That really makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it does.
The
Yeah.
handicap. Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna tell this story and I'm gonna say, GSM times two says it's a lot like a golf handicap.
Thanks.
Love that. That's good. Well,
Yeah.
any other thoughts? Actually, well, for a second here, I'm going to go ahead and read what the next ones
Yeah.
are that are coming up. This is direct from HQ's blog. It's the blog is Start Planning for July Treasure Collections.
Can you share your screen as long as
Oh,
you're,
yeah, I suppose that'd probably be the easiest way to do it, wouldn't it?
yeah.
Hang on a moment. There, you guys see that?
Yep. No, it's there.
Now it's there. Okay. Must be a little bit of lag there. So, tools of the trade. This collection honors gadgets and devices from pencils to multi-tools. They become essential equipment in the geocaching kits of cachers around the globe. To start collecting these treasures, cachers must have completed the egg hunt collection. Once you complete that collection, you can collect these 6 treasures by finding and logging traditional, multi-cache, letterbox hybrid, or mystery caches with a special tool required attribute and a difficulty of 3 or higher.
Okay, so now they're
So
getting
these are going to be difficult ones. 3 difficulty. Yeah. And that also rules out beginner cachers if they aren't premium. I don't think you actually can see those generally, at least through the app.
I'm interested to see what the tot of the person that's taller than you. See what that one's gonna look like.
No. So the Making Memories starts on July 21st, when that leaderboard challenge begins. To start collecting these treasures, cachers must have completed the geocaching origins collection. Once you've completed that collection, you can collect these 7. This is going to be 7 treasures by finding and logging any event or micro, small, or regular sized geocache with a difficulty between 1.5 and 4. So again, they're making it a little more difficult there with the difficulty level. And if you've completed the Making Memories collection, you will receive a Memory Maker souvenir. So this will actually give you a souvenir. And then they want to hear from us. So that's where you would go comment on their blog here. You can comment below, which some people have done.
Yeah, so I did take a quick pass at that Making Memories. Can you scroll down a little bit?
Oh,
Never mind.
boy, just closed
The souvenir or the leaderboard challenge, I'm sorry. And I'll have to make another pass at it to really understand what it was saying. So I think a ball game was going on. I'm trying to read this and that, and so it, yeah. So yeah, and HT Bob and I said it probably the exact same time. HT Bob says he's off in the tot.
Yeah, yeah, it's my tot. Yeah, for those high up caches. Or when they say it's at eye level, probably his eye level, generally not mine.
So if you want to load up what your promotions are, I'm going to ask the gang about this, if this is even a challenge cache worth doing.
Ah,
So I'm
okay.
looking at my stats the other day, and I noticed that I have more finds that are between 2,500 and 5,000 miles away from my home location than I do under 1 mile from my home location. And I'm just wondering, well, is that unique or does that apply to everybody? Because there's generally not going to be a huge quantity of caches that you can find, under 1 mile from your home location. However, so
But that you can unqualify yourself though. If you found many more caches closer to home.
yeah, well, right now I'm at 96 on the far ways to 50 near home. I would have to move again. Yeah. Reminds me of the old joke about, once I learned that most car crashes happen within a mile of your house. Well, I moved further away.
Yeah. But that's still where your house is. Yeah. So I think
it's an old joke.
Yeah. I think
we
Melissa,
got
Scott,
hands.
and Nancy have thoughts on this, perhaps. So Melissa?
Well, my thought is on the other thing they're starting, I think July 15th. That is like a huge community-wide trying to earn 25 million point thing.
Yeah, okay.
And I wondered about that.
Sort of like the aliens visiting from last summer type thing.
Yeah, because there were 3 souvenirs I think you could earn.
Right.
And the third one is only if the community hits the 25 million.
Yeah,
Right.
we need 25 million items in a scrapbook, I believe, or 25 million pages, one of the two.
Yes.
And yeah, I can give them a solid 10, but that's about it. Sorry.
Bash is occurring during this.
Yeah.
And I think events were multiple points.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Cool. So we got
Yeah, I think I read about it at the same time as the new treasures. That's why it was on
Yeah.
my mind.
Okay. Well, cool. Thanks for that. That helps.
Yeah.
We got Scott again, then we got well, it says Nancy, but it looks like Bob. So Scott.
So that first upcoming treasure sounds pretty difficult, actually. So one of the ways to help the community is to go set geocaches that would meet that criteria. Because that 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 sounds like a tough one. So that was all I have to say.
Okay.
Yeah,
Mhm.
kind of again encouraging
Yeah,
people
okay.
to set some geocaches.
Let's get them out there and hope that they get, populated with the treasure.
Yeah.
Bob, what you got?
Well, whoops. Yeah, turn my computer. Well, now I can't hear you. How do I do this?
Mute you.
Hang on.
Sounds like Nancy made it home.
Kill Nancy's sound.
Okay. How does that work?
That sounds
That's good.
good.
You can hear me, but I'm
You're
talking
muted.
through my profile, but you're seeing me through Nancy's profile. So I got a new computer a while back, and I guess I hadn't downloaded the Zoom thing, which apparently my camera, and so I went into settings and I turned something off that requires a computer restart before I can reset it back to where it was, which means then I would be off Zoom. So anyway, this goes way back to notes from the field, if I may,
Oh, yeah.
because I was futzing with my computer for the first 45 minutes. Molly
geez.
got her golden ammo can Saturday. For those of you that don't have those in your area, those are when you found 1,000 caches, you get awarded a golden ammo can. This is a 3D printed one. And if I can share my screen,
So you're saying it's not real gold?
no,
Oh, okay.
it is not real gold. But if I can share my screen, I think, Scott, can I share just a photo from my photo gallery?
You can share whatever you'd like.
Okay, I don't know how to do. I don't know that I've ever shared my screen.
Looks like you're sharing
So
something now, but
do
it's
I?
blank.
Oh, I'm sharing something.
Mm-hmm.
Is it
Pull
showing
it
up?
up. Pull it up on your screen.
Does that show up?
No, you have to go down the bottom to where it says share down at the bottom.
Oh.
Ah. All right, figure out how to do this. Share.
And then
Okay,
once you go to share at the bottom of the screen, then you select the screen that you want to share.
there we go. So, did it share?
Mm,
No.
unless you're sharing a black screen. Oh,
There it
you go.
is.
Okay.
There it is. There's just a delay.
There was Molly getting her golden ammo can,
Oh, look at
and probably she was at that point deciding that she wanted to be a tortoise shell more than she wanted to be a loving cat. And, and tortoise shells are typically known for having tortitude, a little attitude for tortoise shells. Anyway, so the host of the event was talking about the ammo can, put the ammo can down, took the picture. Then she went to reach over and pick up the ammo can, and Molly swatted her hand. Almost like, no, that is my ammo can. So that was just one of those little funny things that happened during the thing. So now I don't know how to turn off sharing. There we go. Stop share.
Yeah.
Okay. So anyway, so that was fun. Anyway,
Well, congratulations, Molly.
so yeah, most of Molly's finds are events and adventure labs, but we do log her when we take her with us out in the wild. And I've taken pictures of her looking for caches before. And so, some purists will say, "Oh, that's just wrong." You know what? We have fun with it, and I think that's kind of the whole idea of the sport here. We have a guy that probably about an hour from us that has a stuffed signal that he logs caches for. And he pays for a premium. He pays for a premium membership for his stuffed animal too. So I guess
That's awesome.
But
Yeah, we know
anyway,
a lot of people that have accounts for their pets. Yeah, including some
so
wacky.
yeah, there was a guy last summer that would not come to her event because he said, I ain't going to an event hosted by a cat.
Sounds just like that too.
Did I do his voice? She said I did his voice just right. So anyway, but so that's what I really wanted to share. That's all.
Okay.
We had fun. We had fun with it, and it was a good time. So
That's awesome. So Kathy, yes, you
Yeah.
absolutely can make your cat an account. Just set up a profile just like you did for yourself. It's extra work logging more caches. I know a lot of people do it for their kids, and then
Mhm.
eventually hand them off as well. But it can also be a lot of fun, especially if you have a social cat that likes to go to events and things and go caching. You know,
We know of a cacher who made an account to transfer the geocaches that he set up and hid. When it came time to archive them, he'd transfer them to this account and archive them out of that account because for some odd reason he thought that was bad juju to have archived caches on
hmm,
his account.
oh, so you do like a sock puppet
Yeah,
account. Yeah.
yeah. And then so Chris is put in some data that relating to my question about is this a good challenge cache or not? But what's intriguing, even more intriguing, is she says, "Hey, I like Project GC's distances from home better." And got me to thinking, can you use Project GC data as criteria versus GCHQ data as criteria?
I would assume so. They're technically the same, but Project GC is just better, has more.
I think a reviewer could probably answer this, but I think I have the accurate answer that it can't be. It has to be within GCHQ's stats.
That would make more sense to me because not everybody would have access to these particular stats from Project GC unless without a premium account with Project GC.
Actually, everybody does. The elevations are on the free part of your profile stats, and the elevation is part of GCHQ's stats. It's just the way the data is presented is differently. They have Project GC is incrementing them. Oh, I scrolled. There it is. So their lowest category is less than 10 miles from
right.
home. And if you look at the stats on your geocaching profile, it's less than 1 mile, as you were talking about, JD. So I'm sorry, not the elevation stat. The distance from home is the same stat. It's just being
Presented
shown
different.
differently. So yeah, I don't see why you couldn't have a challenge cache and increment it however you want, because that can be based on data that is on the geocaching website.
Yeah, it looks like basically the difference is GCHQ is going like every 5 increments of 5, and then and Project GC is 10 and then 100. Yeah, so I see the pattern. Yep.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Reach out to a reviewer,
Yeah.
one of our ones in the area, and see what makes sense, or see if there are other challenges out there. There's already checkers for it. Nancy's been patiently waiting. She's got her hand up. Did you have something to add to the conversation? Nope. Okay.
No, it's a leftover bob hand.
Okay. Okay. All right. Yeah, so Scott mentioned Bellagio. Yeah, she had over 10,000 finds. And so she was a very prolific canine cacher. So cool. Thanks for sharing that. So I guess we'll work on wrapping up, guys. If you're on our email lists or in our social media, you might have noticed we've been doing our Christmas in July promotion.
Yeah.
And it was actually very successful. So I'm excited to start packing these up next week and start shipping a lot of boxes. But the promotion was 10% off, ended last night at midnight. But for all you guys here on Mappy Hour, I have a special for you. If you didn't get your box already, or if you need to get more, maybe you want to make gifts of them, do some Christmas shopping early, what have you. I've extended with a special coupon code. The link is there in the chat. And also, if you just go to my website, if you don't click on that link, if you click on that link, it'll automatically be applied, the 10% off on the Christmas in July box. But if you just, if you didn't get that link, just go to, when you are checking out, use the coupon code MAPPY HOUR.
All one word,
All
lowercase.
all lowercase, one word, just Mappy Hour. And that's something that you could share into YouTube, but they'll see it as well on YouTube and hear us.
So real quick, let me
Mhm.
interject.
Mhm.
Yes, Jim Mongo 50, it's pet check time as well. So bring them on.
Let's see the pets. Yeah. It was fun. Awesome. I
Yep.
think ours went to sleep already. He's been sleeping a lot lately. He just comes in and yells at us, eats, and then goes to sleep. Life of a 17-year-old
that's-
cat. Kind of what you do.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Yeah. Oh, what was that, Mike? You had a little something there. It flew by too fast.
It's the alien space duck from the ammo can, but it's green, so it's chroma keying out.
There we go.
From the cash crate. I hope that you enjoyed that cash crate. It was fun getting ammo cans. I mean, not the little mini ones, a little bit bigger ones out to all of our cash crate members. Oh, there we go. Oh, you got a fun one. There was a big variety of them. And then the other announcement that I wanted to share with you all is that yes, we are coming to Midwest GeoBash. So yeah, both of us. Yeah, we're flying in Wednesday afternoon. We get in like at 3 or 4 to Cleveland. That actually worked out best for flying from Spokane. If we lived in Seattle, we had many more options, but we don't. And I don't want to go all the way to Seattle just to turn around and come back. But anyway, we plan to camp with the help of Bob and Nancy. We will have 4 wheels car to get around, but if anybody has extra bicycles that, if they're coming and has space to bring a bicycle that either one of us might be able to ride, that would be fun because I know having a bike or some other transportation it's a big area to get around and Nancy and Bob were really helpful last year with an extra Segway. That was really fun, although I nearly crashed a couple of times. But once I finally got the hang of it. But I don't know, I didn't want to impose on you guys, again, because you're helping us out so much with tent and all of that since we're flying. So really, we're just kind of coming with our clothes and what I need for my table to promote the cash crates. But would love to know if somebody has extra room that might be coming, if they might be able to bring an extra bike or 2. And that's really about it. Other than, yeah, that's really about all we're going to need, I hope. Weather provided. Melissa?
I'm bringing my grandson.
Oh, yay!
So no extra room for a bike.
No, no kidding.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I got the 7-year-old.
Oh boy, that's going to be fun. You're going to have your hands full.
Well, my daughter-in-law is coming too. So I actually went out and bought a new tent to have a big enough tent for all of us.
Oh, that's awesome.
So yes.
Okay,
So
cool.
it's going to be a blast. And I'm so excited. I've created him an account. He came to my birthday party last week. And so he has 2 caches
Yay.
to his name so far.
What's his caching
So,
name?
Bouncy Boy 20.
Love it.
Wow, there's 19 other bouncy boys?
You know, from the day well, after open heart surgery twice, once he could get up, he has been a bouncy boy and he
Excellent.
picked it. And 20 is his birthday.
Okay. Nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cute. Well, Nancy just mentioned in the chat that we can rent a golf cart. I completely forgot about that. So, yeah, I really actually love that option because that'd be an easy way for us to carry
Ourselves.
and my booth. My booth fits into one suitcase, but it's a big suitcase.
And we checked, and really the best news about this is that is not a Mappy Hour weekend. So, yeah.
Yeah, so we'll have one more Mappy Hour 2 weeks from tomorrow, which will be the Friday before Midwest Geobash. So it was so much fun last year to get everybody together, but it was kind of a challenge and technical challenge as well. But it did finally work out in the end. So we'll just have to all hang out. I know where I'm going to be Friday and Saturday vending, so come by the booth if you're there for sure. Okay, I'm just catching up on any other comments here. Okay, cool. I think that was it. So yeah, I just wanted to share that we've got our Christmas in July boxes, and I wanted to extend that 10% discount to everybody here. So use that link or just use Mappy Hour coupon code, and that will get you their 10% off on that, on any of however many you want to purchase. I know a lot of folks bought multiples. So, and then coming to Midwest Geobash. And if you are a premium member, take a look at next week's email from HQ. There might be a little special from Cash Advance in
Premium
premium perk. Yeah. We actually will have another one coming out. We haven't set the date yet, but that'll be coming up soon within the next month or so. But definitely on Tuesday when the premium notebook, logbook, I think is what it's called.
Yes.
Comes out. So yeah, so be sure to give that a look. Awesome. Well, everybody here in the US, have a fantastic holiday for the 4th of July. And yeah, it's going to be exciting times, we hope, and safe. And hopefully no wildfires started from fireworks.
Or even tame fire.
Yeah, even tame, definitely not. Yeah, just enjoy whatever your community is doing for you. I think that's the best way to celebrate with a bigger community that way. All right, guys. So we will see you all in 2 weeks and a day, our usual cache time and our same cache channel. All right, take care, everybody. Happy caching. Bye-bye.